news here. Not only has John Martin lost a bet to Jeff Goodman, but Randolph Childress has lost a bet to R. John Henson. Carter Bryant, 14th pick, the last member of the lottery crew, is heading to San Antonio as Goodman comes back. He had to refill his mango carts. Carter Bryant, 14th pick, just makes a lot of sense. Goodman, you got a guy that can shoot it. You got a guy that can be versatile. You got a guy that can play the wing. Henson, take your victory lap. Go ahead, man. Let RC know. Tell him who knows ball.
I got him old-fashioned.
Yeah, he can't unmute himself. He doesn't know how to unmute himself.
You got to unmute yourself. All that, and you're muted. All that, and you're muted.
He should
that
be
was
muted.
His victory lap.
I think if you just look at the board, right? I think that was the play. That's the best talent available for the moment. And then when I looked at their 3-point percentage, they're bottom of the league. When I look at their wings, I looked at their roster, right? You got Barnes, you got Champagne, guys that don't necessarily move the needle. HB is a good veteran presence, but he was starting for them. So that's not a long-term fix. I think Carter Bryant's the right pick for the moment for this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait. I like my bourbon expensive too. Right, what are we getting? What are we getting here? What are we getting? I might just stick the Angels in here. I'm going to let them live.
Hey, it's an old-fashioned. There ain't but so much he can do.
What San Antonio did here, guys, what they're doing is just stockpiling talent. That's what they're doing here, and they'll figure out how it fits after. But you know what? If you're San Antonio, look at where you were 2 years ago before Wemby came. You have very little talent. Now you got Wemby. You got De'Aaron Fox at the point. You got Steph Castle, the Rookie of the Year. You got Dylan Harper. You got Carter Bryant. You don't just have talent. Like, you got dudes who can go. I mean, think about it. De'Aaron Fox, probably the fastest guy with the ball in the NBA now that Ish Smith's getting a little bit older. And these guys can go with him.
I mean, I tell you, too.
I don't know about the suit, but, I don't know about the suit.
I'm a big Devin Vassell fan, too, man. I think I like what he is and who he is and what he brings to that team, too. So he just comes in and fits. I don't know. It's going to be tough for him to probably crack the rotation and play as much early, but coming in, catching and shooting at his size, I think he's a good fit. Again, like you said, the Spurs stockpiling talent. Be interesting to see who else they add and what they add going forward with their roster and free agency as well.
Yeah, the good news is that now that he is officially a lottery pick, he might be able to actually afford a shirt to go underneath that suit jacket that he's wearing. He spent all that money on the chain. You can't spend enough money on to buy a shirt to go underneath that suit. You think I could pull off that look? What do you think? He's got the Van Cleef.
You got to shave your chest first, Rob. You probably got all that. You got to shave your chest when you wear that. Rob got that afro coming out of his suit if he wore that. Nobody want to see all that. Nobody want to see all that.
You know what? I gotta you go with the mustache, you go with the chest hair. That's the look, man. It's coming back in style, Randolph.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this: where does San Antonio now sit for you? Right, because it'll be a new coaching situation there, but you got Wemby, who's going to be healthy. We hope. You got De'Aaron Fox, who should be healthy. You got Dylan Harper. You now have Carter Bryant. Steph Castle is going to be back. Where do they kind of stand in the tier of Western Conference teams? I mean, we know how good the Thunder are. We know they can be, Henson. How good do the Spurs look when they stack up to some of those other teams out west? I think next year is a year of being competitive. I don't necessarily think, championship tier or even the top tier of the West, but you become competitive. You start to build your identity and what you are. And you try to be really good before Wemby's extension, right? Or before you have to pay him all this money. So at least you can kind of figure out where to go. Because obviously I think that extension is, knock on wood, is set in stone. And okay, we're going to have to pay Fox again. Or does Harper come? So next year's a year of filling it out, but you want to be competitive, make the playoffs, and continue just to ascend up the West. I think this is a 2 or 3 year plan right now that they've got on their, on the table, and then see where you land.
This is a team that lost Fox. They lost Wemby. if this team is healthy, let's be clear, this is a playoff team. We don't know what the ceiling is because does Wemby take a step, right? We got with another offseason with him. He's going to take a step and get better. So I'm not ready to say that they're championship ready, but I think they, a great year for them would be in the playoffs and maybe making it to a second round playoff team. You didn't make these trades and bring in these caliber players to with the second pick and keep the second pick and draft a guy like Dylan Hopper just to say, hey, just stockpiling talent. They have young, really good players in Fox and the Unicorn kind of leading this thing. I expect San Antonio to be a NBA playoff team. I mean, I don't think there's anything about that. Obviously, they need to be healthy. And you can say that about everyone, but the upside of this young group, they're going to be fun to watch, man. They're going to be fun to watch. I think they got to get one guy. Yeah, they got to get one guy, I think, physically to help out Wembanyama. I think that would be the one guy. And that'll come with a veteran signing or someone of that nature. They stockpile, their guards and their drafts and picks like that. I think they're fine with their backcourt. Just somebody to help protect him, but healthy. I mean, there's not. You take away OKC and maybe Denver. How many teams? And you're going to say the Lakers, but how many teams are you going to put ahead of them right now, when they're healthy in the West?
Not many. Many. Yeah.
Yeah, not many at all.